Level 100. The pinnacle of power for a Pokemon. Very few Pokemon ever reach this level. This is a series of videos in which I push Pokemon's levels to the absolute limit by raising them to 100 in unconventional ways and environments. Because, more or less, I'm crazy. This is the Level 100 Gauntlet. I hope you enjoy.
A few years ago, I trained a Pokemon to level 100 before the first gym in Sapphire, making use of the ability Pickup and rare candies. And now, I want to do it again, but this time in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where there are no abilities like Pickup.
So, how are we going to go about doing this? We could do this very easily with the Stroll function of the Pokeball Plus, but I'm saving that for another Gauntlet which I'm still working on. For this Gauntlet, I want to focus on how we can do this with the core gameplay of Let's Go, rather than with an out-of-game accessory. Unlike other Pokemon games where we can train a Pokemon to level 100 by brute force by just dunking on low-level wild Pokemon for a couple hundred hours, Let's Go is a little bit different since we have to rely on capturing wild Pokemon to gain experience. And that uses up Pokeballs, which in turn uses up in-game money. I was at first worried that this Gauntlet wasn't going to even be possible since it seemed that money and Pokeballs would be an inexhaustible resource. But after a test run of this Gauntlet on a trip to the Smash Tournament Low-Tier City 7 in Texas, I found ways to constantly replenish my supply that I'll go into further detail on as I progress in the Gauntlet. Also, shout out to the people who recognized me from this channel at the tournament. Really wasn't expecting that to happen, and chatting with y'all definitely made my day. Of course, just finding a way to constantly replenish money and Pokeballs alone doesn't make this too much better or more enjoyable. But thankfully, Let's Go has some built-in mechanics we can make use of to not make this Gauntlet take a couple hundred hours and actually turn it into a pretty enjoyable experience. And those mechanics are experience multipliers and the power of catch comboing. Pokemon Go obviously influenced a good bit of Let's Go's mechanics, and one that's really great to have around is experience bonuses after each capture, like how you'll gain a little bit more EXP if you catch the Pokemon on your first ball or with a curveball. And in Let's Go, these bonuses take on the form of experience multipliers, so you can turn a measly amount of experience into this. As a quick little breakdown, you get a 1.1 technique multiplier simply for using motion controls from a Joy-Con or Pokeball Plus to capture the Pokemon, a 1.1 multiplier for registering a new Pokemon in your Pokédex, which will admittedly not be too useful for the bulk of this Gauntlet, a 1.1, 1.5, and 2.0 multiplier for nice, great, and excellent throws respectively, a catch combo multiplier that ranges from 1.1 to 3.0 depending on the length of your chain, a 1.5 multiplier for catching the Pokemon on your first throw, a 1.5 multiplier for a small or large Pokemon indicated by red or blue swirls around the Pokemon on the overworld, a 4.0 multiplier for extra large or extra small Pokemon, and as a side note, I don't think there's any visual difference between a large or small Pokemon and their extra large or extra small counterparts, a 2.0 multiplier for if you get a synchronized throw with the second player, which will overwrite the 1.1 technique bonus so you can't get both at the same time, and there are an additional 2 multipliers that don't appear on the board of bonuses after the capture that get applied to individual Pokemon on the team if they meet the right conditions, which are a 1.5 multiplier for a traded Pokemon and a 1.2 multiplier for a Pokemon with high friendship. So my strategy for this Gauntlet will be to make use of as many of these experience multipliers as possible, to turn the meager experience yield of Viridian Forest gradually into the great experience yield of Victory Road. And I'm not just going to be training one Pokemon to level 100 here, I'm going to be training a whole team of 6. Because in Let's Go, the experience share is always on and can't be turned off, so I might as well go all out and train a whole team. And also, we're going to do this all in one single continuous catch combo. Because it'll actually be pretty beneficial to us to do that in terms of items and experience. There are a couple catches to doing this continuous catch combo though, one of them being that the catch combo breaks if I were to turn off my Switch or exit the game, so I'll have to keep my Switch on the entire time, or at least with the game running in sleep mode. And also, having a high catch combo boosts the shiny rate. And it doesn't just boost the shiny rate for whatever Pokemon we're chaining, so there's a very good chance we're going to be failing a lot of shinies along the way here. But we'll also be catching a lot of shinies of whatever we're chaining, so it kind of balances out in the end. And I'm happy to say today that none of those shinies that we're failing will be Chansey, because Chansey doesn't appear in a Viridian Forest, so the Chansey population is safe. For now. So let's get into these preparations. And most importantly,
Let's go.
With time as my rival, my journey began on July 19th, where I started out by catching 6 random Pokemon. But these Pokemon wouldn't be the team that I'd be using for this Gauntlet. Since I want to take advantage of every experienced multiplier that I possibly can, I opted to use a team of traded Pokemon for this. And I obtained my Pokemon by traveling across the land, searching far and wide, looking for the lowest CP possible Pokemon in Go, because this is the only way to obtain a level 1 Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I transferred them over to my Go Park in Let's Go Eevee, and I traded them over to Let's Go Pikachu. Normally I wouldn't use a traded Pokemon this early in the game at all because of the whole obedience thing, but in this case, since all the wild battles are just captures with no actual battling whatsoever, obedience doesn't matter, so using a traded team is pretty optimal for this. Until, we actually get to the first gym, which will be something that I'll take on in another video eventually. Alright, now we have our beautiful party of 6 level 1 Pokemon assembled. And in order to get advantage of as many experience boosts as possible, we have to be at max friendship with each of them. So, in order to get max friendship, we're going to walk around with them outside of their Pokeballs.
So I'm boosting friendship in the car now, but I'm not driving or playing while driving or anything. I'm just getting a nice refreshing beverage at Sonic. And I've started to rethink what I'm doing with this friendship boosting right now. Since I'm about 3.5 hours into the game gameplay-wise, and I only have 1 Pokemon at max friendship right now, I don't know if I want to spend like 15 hours boosting all my friendship rates to the max just for 1 experience boost, when I could be passively boosting the friendships with all my Pokemon while starting the actual catch combos in the forest and making actual progress on the Gauntlet. So I'm thinking after I get home from getting this drink, I'm going to just move into the forest and start the real grind. Also, I'm really hoping that this isn't what my catch combo is going to be looking like at the end of this Gauntlet. In fact, I'm hoping for like maybe 1/398th of that. Alright, I got the big sip at the steady. Got my Pokeball Plus. Let's head into the forest.
So, I set out into Viridian Forest, but my mind wasn't immediately set on going all out catch comboing just yet. The forest is dotted with trainers, and I gained a little bit of extra money and experience by defeating them. Yes, by doing this, technically not all the experience I get through this challenge will be through the single massive catch combo, but it's such a small amount in comparison to what we need to hit level 100 that it really won't make that much of a difference. While battling these trainers, I also found my first Butterfree, which will be the Pokemon that I'll be chaining since it gives a good amount of experience and I just really like Butterfree. Since these things have a 1% appearance rate here, which will be boosted once we get a catch combo going, I went ahead and caught my first one since I just happened to stumble upon it. Then I hit up Pewter City. It was pretty late at night on day 1 when I started, so I made an immediate beeline for this lady and her Slowpoke to babysit it for a big pearl. This event can be done once a day, so I made sure to do this event before midnight so I didn't waste a day. This is one of the ways I mentioned earlier to always get more money in Pokeballs, even when you completely run out. Also, as a side note, I found it pretty interesting that there are daily events in this game, since the Kanto region is afflicted by eternal daylight. Then I sold pretty much everything but the clothes off my back and a couple of berries and bought a big supply of Pokeballs. You'd think this would be enough to get me super deep into this chain, but thinking that way grossly underestimates how bad I was at catching these Butterfree at first, and how much they just love to break out of the Pokeballs. Despite the difficulty I was having capturing Butterfree, I was never too afraid of a Butterfree running away from me and breaking the chain, since that's easily preventable. Every Pokemon has a special animation that they do, where the catch circle is still visible, that serves as a visual cue that the Pokemon's about to flee. And you can run away from the Pokemon before it runs away from you and keep the chain going. So when things were looking grim, I'd just turn tail before it turned tail.
Alright, at this point in the chain I'm going to start to get kind of picky. And I'm ignoring most Butterfrees, only going for the large and small ones, or the ones with like auras around it. That one doesn't have any sort of aura, so we're not going to catch it. Oh, there's a big money right there, or little money, because it's a tiny one. Well, there goes the first ball bonus.
Throughout the night, I continued to waste Pokeballs, until I made an observation around the time that I hit a chain of 25. I noticed that when the Butterfree's doing this figure 8 pattern, it'll always stop to do an action in one particular spot. So I started to become more patient and wait for it to reach this spot to throw my Pokeballs. Unfortunately, I realized this too late into the night, and I eventually ran completely out of Pokeballs, but not without getting the textbook throw that I really wanted to get all night first.
Excellent. There we go. I feel like I'm onto something here now. I'm definitely onto something here now. This has been the best capture all night by far. First throw excellent. Wow, a delicious 485. Look at that.
Alright, so we have reached a respectable level 20 something on each of our Pokemon here. I am fresh out of Pokeballs until I get another big pearl from the Slowpoke lady. So I'm going to call it a night for now and come back at this tomorrow. So now I'm going to put the switch into sleep mode because it's imperative that we do not turn it off in order to continue the catch combo. So yeah, good night. July 20th, day 2. It's time to see if we can get another pearl from this lady. See if we can get a little grinding in. After collecting my daily big pearl, I was greeted by a little surprise. Shiny Rattata, and I just failed it. Oh my gosh. I just looked at the screen as I was walking away. It's not like we could have caught it anyway, though. We have to continue this catch combo. That's dedication to this gauntlet. Oh, I didn't buy any Pokeballs either, so we couldn't have caught it. Making some progress. Oh, look at that Multiplier, though. Here we go, off to a good start today. This good start was very short-lived, though. Despite my new strategy of being patient, I was still terrible at throwing the Pokeballs. And the Butterfree were still breaking out pretty frequently. So I managed to still waste a ton of my 40 Pokeballs that I had. But on the bright side, things only get easier from here. The more of a single species of Pokemon that you catch in Let's Go, the easier it becomes to catch. So while I still have to hit the mark, it'll become a lot easier for it to actually stay in the ball. Also, as the catch combo increases, we'll start to get more capture rewards, which can be sold at the Pokemart in order to afford more Pokeballs. Until we reach that point though, we can only play for a little while at a time before completely running out and having to rely on getting another big pearl. And unfortunately, I was only able to get to a catch combo of 43 before completely running out of Pokeballs for the day. But at this point now, we have the maximum catch combo experience bonus. So we're slowly getting there. Alright, so I played for about 40 minutes today before I completely ran out of Pokeballs. So unfortunately, I won't be able to play anymore for the rest of the day till tomorrow, but that's okay because I'm going to a Smash tournament out of town. So I guess I'll resume this tomorrow, and hopefully soon I'll reach the point where this will be much easier to sustain for long periods of time.
Brand new day. Brand new Slowpoke, or it's the same Slowpoke. No shiny Rattata today. Look at all the Butterfree. No!
My catching luck has been terrible today, day 3. I threw so many excellent balls that just did not capture the Butterfree. So I'm still sitting at a measly catch combo of 48.
but I have some plans to try and get some more funds here. About to transfer all the Butterfree I have and see if I can make a little bit of money off of the candy that I get from that.
Alright, with all those candies we can buy 11 more. See if we can make some miracles happen here. Using the raspberries because I'm that desperate at this point. Not even a raspberry helped. Finally got an excellent throw capture today. I can't tell you how many it's been. I only got like 429 experience from it. But it feels good to finally catch something. Oh my gosh. I think we just hit the catch combo of 50 now too. Oh, there's an item I never got. A lure. Sick. I can sell that. Another item. Tiny mushroom. Let's go. That's a little bit of money too. We're still in this for today. I desperately want to play for like more than an hour.
When almost all hope seemed lost, I felt like I was barely clinging on to being able to play for a couple more minutes. Something kind of happened. I started getting more catch rewards, with that reward being enough candy to buy a Pokeball or two. Alongside some unclaimed items I found in the forest, I was able to scrounge enough money together to play for just a little while longer.
I think in order to like further be more efficient with this, I'm only going to buy Pokeballs in multiples of 10, so I can keep getting the maximum number of Premier Balls possible as I go. I really don't want to jinx myself, but with the number of candy we're getting after these encounters now, we might just be able to self-sustain if we don't waste too many Pokeballs.
And I was actually right. With all the candy I was getting, I didn't have to worry about my Pokeball supply anymore. At last, I could just sit back and get into the groove of things. But first I did Mudkip Community Day and Go.
They don't call me Umbrella for nothing. Rumor has it that in your opinion, Mudkips are favorable. Finding a wild Butterfree on Mudkip Community Day is definitely an omen of some sort. Or just a sign.
Got a solid 5 shiny Mudkip. And now I am home to do this for the rest of the night. Until I have to go to bed and then go to work tomorrow. It's been a long time since I've just dedicated like almost an entire day to playing Pokemon. Feels good.
Shiny Butterfree. Nice.
One day I'll come back to Pallet Town. I'm on the road to become the greatest trainer. And I won't quit until I'm number one. We keep on
shiny Bulbasaur. Wow. It's interesting that it's not sparkling behind us. But hey, here's a shiny Bulbasaur that we are intentionally failing. Shiny number 3 of this. Farewell, Bulbasaur.
Friends along the way, on the road to Viridian City. I'm on the road to Viridian City. We're on the road to Viridian City. Meet my friends along the way. I'm on the road to Viridian.
Shiny Butterfree number 2.
I've got a band and the power to play. We're on the road to Viridian City. Challenge of another day. On the road to Viridian City. On the road
Shiny Butterfree. Right after getting to level 100.
to Viridian City. On the road to Viridian City. On the road to Viridian City.
Another shiny Butterfree.
Let's go.
Woo!
Now at this point, Tauros is the final Pokemon that needs to reach level 100. At this time, I finally took advantage of the last experience bonus, and that is the Synchronize bonus, which can only be done when using 2 controllers. Normally this would be a co-op mode for 2 players, but I didn't want to have to subject anyone else to this. I'm armed and ready to go. So I did co-op by myself, and that was a little bit of an experience.
Alright, so. There we go. I gotta shake this to have it come in. This is very new to me. That is a cool animation. Neat. That, I think, multiplies the experience quite a bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Not too much, but hey, pretty good. That's funny. Pokemon just jumps when I run into it as the second player. I didn't know that that was a thing. This is my first time playing the co-op mode in this game, really. I really want to get an excellent. Okay. I got an excellent, but it wasn't in sync. There's the floating Pikachu. Whoa, I didn't even see the second ball there. Were they like both perfectly overlapped or something? That was nuts. One more level to go. That was a pitiful capture, but we have reached level 100 with Tauros now. Mission has been accomplished. And we've gotten some Butterfree extra credit, too, on top of our level 100 team. 819. Doesn't get more perfect than that. And here we have it. The game is lagging because I'm in Viridian Forest. Hold on. Goodbye. And there we have it. A level 100 team before the first gym off of a single catch combo. It has been quite a journey and it's been pretty fun doing this all along the way. And since we started, we've put in 33 hours and 25 minutes. Really not that bad, considering the goal at hand. But now we have a much crazier task to take on in the future, where we're going to play through the rest of this game with a disobedient team. So stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you next time.